Hey guys, welcome to Spy Plays. Today we have the next iteration in our underrated cEDH cards. We are continuing on the color pie with red, one of my favorite colors in Magic. There's some definite heat packing in today's video, so make sure to watch through and let us know your favorite red card down below. Thank you for the support, and if you enjoy the content, sharing it helps us the most. Now let's get into the video. Hey guys, here we have our first card, Obliterate. And this one is definitely probably one of our favorites out of the list.
Oh yes.
This is
oh yes.
yeah. So it's a sorcery, 6 red. Can't be countered. Destroy all artifacts, creatures, and lands. They cannot be regenerated.
You guys love this one because you're just on the crack pipe.
We shield this card so hard. So like, there's a lot of things you can. Yeah, there's a lot of things you can do with this card. Specifically, it doesn't kill planeswalkers. So if you're playing like a planeswalker centric deck, you can abuse the fact that it doesn't kill planeswalkers. I'll have John talk about. You played in what is it, Jessica Tevesh, right?
Yeah, I have this like Rakdos. I don't know if I want to call it control, but it's like this
group slug.
Yeah, this Rakdos group slug deck that uses Jessica and Tevesh, and then it basically just like wipes the board just like every fucking turn with Jessica, and then it has like its own slew of board wipes in the decks, and it's really like it's not it's all right against faster and like turbo decks, but it really shines if there's like another stacks deck at the table, or if there are other like very like creature dependent decks. It just annihilates everything. And what Obliterate winds up doing for the deck is essentially you get Tevesh out, you just kind of like start upticking, you keep the board clear, you play like some stacks pieces and let your opponent play some stuff. And usually in this stage of the game, when you like have stuff under control, if you play anything like too threatening, people are already like kind of scared of you, but this thing just being uncounterable literally just lets you.
Yeah. This card is unplayable really, if it's not uncounterable.
It redeems the fact that it's 8 mana. Yeah. And what kind of winds up happening in a deck like that, and there's other decks where this fits, but in this deck specifically, the one that I play, you're able to like just you're able to play a bunch of stacks pieces, lock things, not completely lock things out, but like make life really miserable for everyone. Play Obliterate, annihilate the board completely, and then any enchantment stacks pieces stay on the field, and you keep your Tevesh, and then eventually you're just going to ultimate Tevesh and steal everybody's things, and it's really hard to lose from there. And the same game plan can translate into other Planeswalker commander decks. Like I think Lord Windgrace is a underexplored commander that can use this card. And then I think there's like, I don't know, just like not necessarily Jessica Tevesh, that's what I've done, but there's a lot of different combinations of Tevesh you can do and mess around with this. Like you can do Bruise Tevesh, so you can get like the white enchantments and play Rule of Law stuff.
Yeah, to me it's just like I saw people brewing with Worldfire when it got unbanned, and it kind of made me like think of this card, and I'm like, wait, this is like low-key a win con and it's uncounterable. It's like Worldfire is not uncounterable. It's like, why are you gonna drop like a 7-mana spell and have it just get countered?
Yeah,
it's just kind of stupid. But yeah, I think it's a very underrated card that can fit into a lot of decks. Did you have anything to say about this card, Alex?
I do think it is pretty notable, actually, that doesn't hit enchantments, right? That was,
it is, or planeswalkers.
You know, we kind of looked at planeswalkers first, but the enchantment angle does help. I mean, red doesn't really have a lot of good enchantments besides maybe like Possibility Storm,
right?
Like
that you'd be wanting to play for this sort of strategy anyway. Right. But it definitely helps you like leech off of other decks. You know, if there's like another stacks deck at the table and the Rule of Law is locking people down, you're not getting rid of it.
Yeah.
No.
All right.
It's beautiful.
Let's move on to our next card in the list. We got Cathartic Pyre, I believe is how you say it.
Pyre.
Cathartic Pyre. 1 in a red instant. Choose one, so you get to deal 3 damage to target creature, Planeswalker, which is notable. and you get to loot, so you can discard up to 2 cards and then draw that many cards.
Pretty good.
It's just
so
good.
It's either Lightning Bolt or Faithless Looting.
Yeah, it's got like just,
Faithless Rummaging.
Yeah, Faithless Rummaging. Yeah, it's got dual purposes. I think it's a really underplayed card in the fact that it just came out. I've seen some lists putting it in, but it's definitely not played to like the same extent as maybe like a Braid or something, but it has very similar upside.
Yeah, I think the fact that you have Bolt, which is really nice, I like getting rid of stuff, but then like also having it be like this utility of like having filtering attached to it when you don't want that kind of effect makes it like really valuable in matchups where like I don't know, maybe not only just like filtering is good to have, but also like if you're playing a Reanimator deck or like a World Gorger deck or something, you have that attached to it, and it's just like another way to discard your fatty, and it just winds up like being really solid.
Yeah, I think Reanimation is the key to this card, really. Being able to pitch stuff and, kind of make this like 2-card combo where normally you might not be able to... I don't know. There are like reanimation targets that are like of varying levels of popularity, right? We have like Phyllis, Razaketh. There's obviously World Gorger. Maybe if you're like feeling cheeky, you could be playing a Sire of Insanity deck. And this ends up being like instead of you're like Entomb Reanimate, you can use Cathartic Pyre, and sometimes it's more valuable because it'll get clogged in hand.
Right. No, I definitely like it's got a lot of utility. Like if you're thinking of running Bolt, you should also be thinking of this card if you're on one of those strategies, or honestly it just fills up the graveyard for Breach as well, which is very, very like useful a lot of times. I think this is a pretty like simple card. We're gonna hop on to the next one, which is Absolute Gas, like actually.
Oh yes.
Orcish Lumberjack, 1 red, creature orc, sacrifice a forest, add 3 mana in any combination of red and or green. So this is just straight up gas. You get 4 mana basically because you're gonna tap that forest, blow it up, and then add 3 more mana. So it's like this thing just accelerates. So
this is the most explosive mana dork there is.
It really is.
And that's really why it's good. I think you definitely like it in these decks where you can like you have these more expensive commanders, like you have like a 5-mana commander or something like that. You're getting them down turn 2.
Yeah.
That's pretty ridiculous.
Like Ish, is it? No, not Ish. What's the one you play this in? Rog. What's?
Oh, Ikra.
Ikra.
Yes,
yeah. Ikra plays this.
Yeah.
This is a really good card for that. But then, just in general, like even decks that like just have like fat things.
If you're a deck that can play Orcish Lumberjack and you'd consider playing Mana Vault, like, and you're trying to like turbo out things, I think you should definitely be thinking about Orcish Lumberjack.
Or even people have been kind of reconsidering Grim Monolith recently. I know that's a trend that I've seen a lot of people going on, and I was thinking about that too myself for playing Ekrom. I think Orcish Lumberjack really fills this role better, right? Because it is repeatable, which is valuable. I mean, you don't always have the extra forests. But making colored mana matters so much compared to the colorless.
Yeah.
Definitely. Nowadays, I know.
Very good.
Yeah, colorless mana, like a lot of really big spells and things that you want to be casting they tend to be having like high colored costs in it. I notice. I don't know, like Peer into the Abyss. Like
it's multiple pips.
Not that Orcish Lumberjack helps with casting that.
That's
card.
right. No, it doesn't. Sorry, I'm thinking of that one. But like, there's just like a lot of cards that you do require like red or green. And if you're in these colors, I think this is just a great card to include, especially if you're playing a bunch of Mana Dorks. This should be one that I just don't see it in a lot of lists that are playing like Mana Dorks, and I feel like it should be in there.
If you have like large cards to ramp into, if you have a chunky commander, you definitely want to play Orcish
Rurikthar.
Oh my god, dude. Oh, I love it. Yeah, that would be great in there. All right, the next one we're going to go on to, it's going to be Trash for Treasure. So this is 2 and a red, sorcery, as an additional cost to cast a spell, sacrifice an artifact, and then you get to return target artifact card from your graveyard to the battlefield.
So this is like the Red Tinker, right? I mean, you're not.
Red Tinker.
You're not getting it from your deck, right? But realistically, Bolas' Citadel is a pretty strong card, and there are like a few other artifacts that you could make for consideration with this, I suppose. That's probably gonna be more
statue.
Yeah, that's gonna be like more commander dependent. I think if you have like an artifact that combos with your commander or something like that. But
like God Pharaoh statue.
But just looking at like Bulls of Citadel, that sort of interaction, this sort of effect is pretty valuable, right? We also see people playing stuff like Goblin Welder, and then there's also Goblin Engineer too. And
consider those as well.
Yeah, maybe you can think about this with like, I don't know. I mean, I guess if you're getting like Cloudstone Curio or something like that, then like, okay, it's like 3 mana and 3 mana. But I think Bulls of Citadel is like pretty good with this. If you're playing a commander especially that can like discard cards, or if you're playing a strategy that lets you discard things like relatively frequently, right? I mean, like this is the sort of thing we were talking about with Cathartic Pyre. This could be pretty good. Yeah. Like the big example I have was playing Armix Crom, right? This is like tailor made for that deck pretty much.
Oh right, you have a lot of artifacts in the deck.
Yeah, you like attack with your Armix, discard Bulls of Citadel, and then you're sacking your Armix with Trash for Treasure.
Right. Yeah, that's hot. I think definitely off the top, like Bulls of Citadel is like the main thing, but it's just there's a lot of other artifacts that cost a lot and you could be grabbing, and there's just a lot of combos you can do with this, and I feel like this is definitely an underplayed card, along with like the Goblin Welders and the Goblin Engineer. Goblin Welder is a little bit better because it can get anything as well. Goblin Engineer and Tombs,
it entombs stuff.
Right, Goblin Engineer and Tombs, so it's more consistent, I would say, to like finding all your stuff. But this is a really cool card. I really like it. You used to play this in Godo sometimes too to get your helm back, which is kind of funny.
Yeah,
because it goes to the battlefield, which is nice. All right, let's move on to the last card we have, and you guys will probably recognize this one. This is going to be Birgi, God of Storytelling, and it's whenever you cast a spell, you add red until end of turn. You don't lose this mana as steps and phases ended. Creatures you control can boast twice. No one cares about that. And then you can flip it over, and you have the horn. And this is part of the reason we actually included this too. The horn is actually really good because you get to exile the top two.
Side is definitely the underrated part of it.
Oh, 100%. Discarding a card and just exiling the top two is like, it's so useful because if you have like 5 cards in hand and you want to go off, that just becomes 10 cards. You just exile all the cards in your hand, or whichever ones you don't need, and then you see what you can get, and then like it allows you to just play out horn and just like set up for your next turn, and it's just people underrate the horn a lot.
Birgi, Birgi winds up being like the best of both worlds when you need like fat mana acceleration to like do a bunch of stuff, and because you already have a bunch of spells that you want to cast, you can play front half Birgi, the one that most people cast. But like actually just being able to cast the backside, the horn, can be super strong as well. Like it is a powerful draw engine. It doesn't like technically draw, but like you get to turn all of your cards into an extra card essentially. So it's like every card you draw, it's like you draw 2. And if it's a good card, you cast it, but if it's not a good card, you also just get rid of it and look at 2 different cards. So horn is very powerful.
Yeah, it really helps your consistency with going off on these turns.
100%. I think both sides you play out.
I mean, I think like especially in lower color decks, the card really shines. But it really does whatever you need it to, right? Like maybe you get the Birgi off of like Adnaz, and you want to play some stuff out. Like you can do that and just start netting the red mana.
Right.
But if cards are like the main thing that's holding you back, and you have the mana, then just Harnfel is good.
Yeah, Harnfel this side is the underrated side for sure. Birgi itself is still, I think you can play it in a lot of decks. I think even the commander, like as a cEDH deck, is really cool.
Yeah,
I think it's a very cool.
You usually don't cast the horn in the cEDH, and just Birgi as a commander though.
Yeah, the front side is too essential to the strategy, which is a little unfortunate.
It is unfortunate.
Yeah. Okay. And we can go over the cards here, just so you guys know as well. All these cards, if you didn't already see, are around $5 or less. So we like to include underrated cards that are pretty cheap. I mean that usually shows that they're pretty underrated, is if they're cheap. It's kind of how it is. But yeah, so like Obliterate's $5. This is like a uncommon. It's 50 cents. Lumberjack's 20 cents, like from Ice Age, so like you can get the
Super
Ice Age
cute.
copy. Trash for Treasures, absolutely 50 cents. Like these are very Birgi's kind of popular, so it's about $5. This is the most expensive one, but even then it's not that expensive. You can get the really cool version for like $5, which is awesome. Yeah, we think all these cards are just underplayed in general. You can build a lot of decks with them, and
Yeah.
you know, just think about these cards when you're building a cool red deck, because you know red's the best color. But anyways, no, I think that'll be it. You guys have anything to say to end the video? Defense grid is not in here. You have anything to say, Alex?
No, I think these are all pretty good options to consider when you're building a deck.
Oh, I think
just jam Obliterate in every deck.
Yeah. Out of all of these, I'd say my favorite is Obliterate. What about you, John?
I mean, why would it not be my favorite? It's just like
Alex. What's your favorite?
It's kind of an auto include.
Definitely Trash for Treasure.
Trash for Treasure. Okay. Alex is.
It's so unique.
Yeah, it's okay to be wrong, but just kidding. No, Obliterate's a meme card. All right, thank you guys.
It's still good though. It's still good, and the deck is good. It's fucking good.
It is. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be hitting you guys with another video soon. But anyways, have a good one.
See you, everybody.
Bye.